So a relationship of 7 years just got called off, and when I got to know the reason why it was called off, it was because of the genotype. The first thing that came to my mind is, why would you even go ahead with a relationship without knowing your genotype? And do you think there was something they could have done to save that relationship, despite being despite being AS and AS?
Okay, medically speaking, it's actually not advisable for them to go ahead. Because one thing before you go into a relationship, especially for a lady and a man of marriageable age, you should know your genotype. So you shouldn't go into a relationship no matter what when your genotype is not compatible with your partner. Fine, even though there are now medical solutions to sickle cell crisis, it is still not advisable that people with incompatible genotype to go ahead into a marriage, because the stress of trying to solve it is not just worth it. Like, it drains you of a lot of things, it drains you of your money, it drains you of your own sanity itself. So the best thing is, before you go into a relationship or into a courtship with any man, with any lady, you all need to know your genotype.
Okay. So that brings me to my first question. Not everybody is aware of what this genotype is. So what is that genotype? What is genotype?
Okay, so genotype is a trait. They are inheritable traits you receive from both parents. Yes. They are all the genetic traits that you receive from your parents. They are characteristics you inherit from them. That's what genotype is. So you receive from both parents. You receive a trait from your father, you see certain trait from your father and certain trait from your mother. That's what comes together and what we call genotype.
Why do people need the awareness of this genotype we're talking about?
Okay, before I go ahead to explain that, we have 4 groups of genotypes. We have the AA, we have the AA, we call it normal, like the normal genotype, and we have the AS. The AS are those with the carrier of the sickle cell. They are carrying it, but they don't come down with the disease. They are not prone to diseases. They have a normal hemoglobin and also a carrier, which is S. And we have the SS. These S's are the sickle cell. Okay, so we also have the SC. S is not common.
Okay,
S is not a common type, but it's also a sickle cell. So now, talking about the compatibility now, we have genotypes that shouldn't come together. For example, when we have the AS and the AS coming together, you know when you are going to give birth to a child, the child will have to take one out of each of the parents' hemoglobin gene. That is, they have to take one from the mother, one from the father. So when 2 AS are coming together, even though there could be a possibility of AAs coming together, there's still higher chance of SS coming from that union. So it's not advisable for people with sickle cell carrier to combine with another carrier. So because at the end of the day, even if they still have a normal child with the AA genotype, there are still high chances that they will have kids with the sickle cell.
Okay, so you said something about SC.
Yes.
Does the sickle cell trait, does it really reflect in their physical activities, like do they have crisis too?
Yes, they do have crisis because they both are going through the same thing. Now, what happens? What do we really mean by the SS? Okay, now the hemoglobin, the blood cell is spherical in shape. Now, Somebody who has a normal genotype, who has AA, has this shape intact. But someone who is a sickle celler has it in a sickle shape. Like now, that red blood cell is diseased, it's not healthy. So when that happens, it does not allow free flow of oxygen in the body. So it sticks in the cell and disrupts the oxygen. So they experience pain. Anyone who has a double sickle cell carrier experiences pain. So they all go through the same process of the sickle cell. They are all carriers, so they come down with disease at any point in time.
So when AC, even AS and AC can't also,
It's not advisable. It's not advisable.
Okay. So how do you know your genotype?
Yes, genotype. The only way you can know your genotype is you going to the hospital or going to medical laboratories. They're the ones, because they need to take your blood and you cannot possibly take it yourself. Even if you do, there are tests, there are reagents and chemicals that they put the blood through to get their results. So it's not what you can do on your own. You need to seek a medical personnel.
Okay, so who are the people that needs to do it?
Everybody needs to know their genotype. It's very important for everybody to know their genotype. As long as you want to get married and you want to give birth, of course, and everybody wants to do that. Everyone wants to get married, everyone wants to give birth. So you need to know your genotype.
Okay. At what point do we need to do our genotype? Because for instance, the relationship I talked about, they've been dating for 7 years and they don't even know their genotype. So when is the right time to do our genotype?
Oh well, in my opinion, I would say immediately after birth, everyone should go for a genotype test from birth, because anything can happen along the line. Or let's even put aside the marriage issues. So for example, people that are sickle cell, they don't even need to get to the marriageable age before they know the genotype. Right from birth, they will start experiencing crises as early as 2-3 months. Sickle cell patients will start having crises. So everybody from birth should know their genotype.
Okay. What are the crises? Like, what are the physical attributes of someone with a sickle cell disease?
Okay, it varies in people. Some people for some they are very slim and skinny. It's just like when you hold them, just like they are holding their bones. And for some people have yellow eyes. Their eyes are very yellow. And for some people they don't even know from their physical appearance. Yes, we call that phenotype. Like we have a genotype, we have a phenotype. The phenotype is the physical expression of what the gene entails. Some people, they don't express physically what their gene is. So some sickle cell carrier don't show it. And for some people, they could be skinny, some have yellow eyes. And for some people, you just like they're always very dull, and there are different kinds of symptoms that varies with people.
This person is pregnant. Is it transmitted physically?
No, it's not. It's not a transmission.
The carrier will always be the carrier.
The carrier will always be the carrier.
The only way the carrier can transmit to someone else is when you marry.
Yes. Union with another person by sex, and you conceive a child.
My next question: what is the correlation with of AA? People are AA with mosquito, because I'm AA and I often, once mosquito bites me like this, and people that even has the sickle cell carriers don't get to experience. What's the correlation of the AA genotype and mosquito?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, sickle cell carrier, they have less amount of oxygen flowing through their bloodstream. And that is because there's a sickle cell which is not healthy and does not allow easy flow of oxygen. So now, this is one thing about mosquito, Plasmodium falciparum. It likes oxygen. It thrives more where there's oxygen. So for people that with genotype AA, they have oxygen flowing through their bloodstream because their cells are not sickle. They have healthy cells, so they have oxygen flowing through their bodies.
So for every time we get these bites, oxygen.
Yes, they are sucking the oxygen, so they are enjoying it. That's why AA, when they are being bitten by mosquitoes, they are prone to malaria because the mosquito continues to suck the blood more and more.
Is there a cure for sickle cell? For those that are already in it, some people are married and we can't advise them to do because they already have kids. Is there any cure for it at the moment?
Well, right now, the only cure for sickle cell is blood transfusion, full bone marrow blood transfusion. It's very expensive. Very expensive.
Okay, so we've gotten so many information about genotype, when to do it, how to go about it, and why you need to do it. And so, please, you don't even have to be in a relationship before you know your genotype. Parents, as soon as you give birth to your child, 2-3 months, make sure you know their genotype and their blood. There are times that you might, in fact, when you want to gain admission to secondary school, universities, they always ask us for our genotype, and in most cases, people tend to use fake medical reports. I've seen cases like that. They just forge medical reports just because they just want to submit it to the school. A time might come where your child might need blood in school. Imagine if your child's genotype AA and they need to get blood. They have a false information. If the medical practitioners are not professional, they might not see the need to go back to redo the test. They'll just go with the record your child has. So it is very, very important for you to know your genotype.
Genotype testing is very cheap. You can walk into any accredited hospital or into a medical laboratory to have your test done. So you don't need to wait till when you'll be needing it before you go for the test. You can go for it before you even need it. As I said, knowledge is power. So when you have it, you won't fall into traps and you will save yourself a long life pain and stress.
Okay. And for those that are already in this situation, please. Some people are being ignorant of this thing. You have seen cases of people you know that your child is a sickle cell and you still try to hide it because you don't want people to know. This thing it is I don't know, most people don't know about it, but once you know that your child has this sickle cell, seek for medical attention. You can't base on self-medication for a sickle cell child. It is wrong. Seek for medical attention. I think there are drugs and things they can do.
Yes.
Not everybody can afford the bone marrow transplant, but there are drugs that you can use to maintain it. So please, if you are already in this situation, seek medical attention. And if you are not in this situation and you're about to start a relationship and you still want to feel like, okay, you can try it, please, for the sake of the child, don't do it. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. In our next episode, we're talking about rhesus factor and blood group. Thank you so much for watching.